Good afternoon, iRacers. Welcome to Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. Alex Simpson here with Conrad Venter for another round of the iRacing Grand Prix Series. Conrad, welcome, mate. Happy Sunday. Having a good weekend?
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day to all those people out there as well.
I appreciate you coming on and doing this. I'm surprised your missus hasn't strung you up the minute you said we're going to help Alex do a broadcast.
That's okay, I'll pay for it later.
Well, just we're at Suzuka. What a great circuit! Obviously, we all know it. We all love it. Obviously, former sort of test circuit for Honda back in the day, originally created for, and look what it's turned into—an absolute beast of a race circuit. And weather conditions out there at the moment looking very, very sunny, but temperature is quite cool. So track conditions probably going to be, I would say, okay. I think some of the drivers like a little bit of cloud cover or whatnot, but tyres should hold on because the ambient temperature is way down at the moment. So, not quite sure on that lap record there. Something must be going on there. Yeah, Conrad, I mean, figure of eight, the only one really that we deal with. Unlike most tracks, obviously, drivers got to set their car up a little bit different. We've got, obviously, the S's, we've got some slow speed sections, some chicanes, some long sort of apex corners as well. It's a challenge, isn't it, Suzuka?
Yeah, it really covers all the type of corners that you can get on the track, and I mean, especially with that first sector where you go through the S's, you really have to be on it. And any little mistake through there, and you're going to pay for it dearly. I mean, trying to correct the car if you just make a little mistake is really, really difficult.
Just taking a quick look at the championship standings. Of course, drivers have already raced this week, so we're sort of catching up in it. Patrick Colesman still leads the way on 2,268 points. He has raced this week, so where he might score a few more this race, it's not going to be massive. His teammate Veloso is in second, Matt Farrow is third, Bart Delat fourth, Jamie Fluke is now in fifth. We've got Boris in sixth, Sebastian in seventh. Giuseppe in 8th, Marcus in 9th, and then Carlo in 10th as well. A couple of drivers to keep an eye on who have basically had 0 drop weeks. You've got Steinshort, who's only done 6 races, so he could jump up quite a way this week and next week, of course, as well, because we're into the drop week section of the season. And Marcus Jensen as well, only done 7. Vedran Kroll also, but he's a little way down in 17th place, but he could still sort of feature in the top 10 at the end of the championship.
Yeah, there's a couple of drivers sort of in the top 20, top 25 that hasn't done their full allocation of 8 weeks so far. So I mean, they definitely guys to keep an eye on. It just need sort of like one good week, and it'll propel them quite far up the standings.
Right, I think we're almost done with qualifying. Who have we got out there at the moment? I think we're just waiting on Chem, is it? I think. Let's have a look. Nick's coming out of the pits as well. I think that's just a practice start. Might well be Chem's final lap. No, it looks like it was just an out lap. I think he's going to run out of time, isn't he? Yeah, he has. So maybe he's just doing some practice. Worth pointing out, Chem's obviously joined Radicals from Vortex Racing as well, which is see a slight difference there in the liveries. So yeah, congratulations to him and Radicals for 2016 partnership. Conrad, just while the drivers make their way to the grid, do you want to take us through that starting lineup?
Yeah, we've got Jamie Fluke grabbing pole position there. I'm pretty sure he'll be very happy with that. Second place, we've got Martin van Leuzenhout. Steen Skorthorst in third place. Alongside him is Carlo Labatti. And then the third row is Vedran Kroll and Yunus Nikaronen. Utah Saito in 7th place with Kim Babasi in 8th. On the 5th row is Bart Delat and Marcus Jensen. Sebastian Dinkel and Nick Thiessen on the 6th row. And then Boris Poelstra and Matt Farrow in 13th and 14th. In 15th place we've got Michael Schmidl and Christian Manzano in 16th place. Zoran Jonic in 17th with Mika Harpen in 18th, and then 19th place is Timu Lapalainen.
Quite a mix-up actually on the grid. We haven't seen some of these guys. Obviously, no Patrick in this one. Happy with the points he's obviously scored this week. Great job from Jamie. Let's hope that Jonas gets a good start and doesn't get any damage. Cross fingers first time of the season if it happens.
Yeah, obviously I missed last week, but the week before at Interlagos wasn't the greatest, in all fairness. But yeah, all fingers crossed that they'll get a clean run through turn 1, and then the boys can take it from there.
Right, here we go. Then we're just waiting for the final few drivers to line up. Revs are going to start to build. Here we go. Round number 8 of the iRacing Grand Prix Series is away here at Suzuka, and it looks like a fairly good start from everyone. Fluke got an absolute flyer. He's going to be well clear into the first turn. Both Apex cars there, actually. Obviously, that's music to me, as you can imagine. But Stein up into 3rd, sorry, and then Jonas Saito down to 5th place. Labati in 6th.
Oh, it's got contact in the back there. Oh, there's about 3-4 cars involved there. Sorry, Alex.
Oh dear, who was that who came back on the track? And I think he took out Nick. That's Christian there as well. That's not right. There we go. Yeah, that was Christian indeed. Just came back on the track there. Nick was still to the side, and he's got way too much damage. That's his race over and done with. But I have to say that's all on him, because he just rejoined the circuit when there was somebody there.
I think the initial contact was between Nick and Mikai.
Yeah, he seems to be out as well. So unfortunate, 2 retirements already. It looks like Jonas got a clean start. Haven't seen any damage. Something going on with Kem out there as well. Oh, he's in a right state. Let's have a quick look back at that, and then we'll catch up with what's going on up front. Looks like Jensen and Boris having a little bit of a battle right now.
Yeah, Jensen took quite a big hit in that melee in the first sector.
What happened to... Kem was just trying to go up the inside of... I think that might have been Carlo there. And just got a tiny little bit of contact and straight on into the wall. Nothing he can do really there as we jump back live.
Well, at least they all came through turn 1 fairly cleanly, and then all kicked off in the first part of the S's. And it's always really difficult when you have so many cars so close together, and I mean, it just takes for one or two of them just have a little get together, like a little touch, and it's got a huge snowball effect on the guys behind them.
Yeah, exactly. First lap was the worst time for it. Like you say, it just like Newton's cradle, isn't it? When it happens, it's just nothing you can do. It's I'm just having a quick look further back. We're looking at Bartoletta at the moment, 10th place. Not the best of qualifiers for him. His teammate also seems to be struggling just ahead of him as well. So, but we know how strong these guys are in race trim as well. So I expect them to certainly move up a few places. Somebody just a little bit wide there. I think that was Sebastian Dunkel. It could have been Sebastian actually that had the contact with Kem there as well. So, I wonder if he's got any damage. Doesn't look like it as far as I can see.
I've got quite a few cars in the pits, either retired or trying to get the car repaired.
Luke's that's the fastest lap of the race. We can't see that because I just brought up timings on the left-hand side. So you're running order. We've already got 4 retirees, unfortunately. Nick Thiessen into the pits, retired as well. So a bit of a shame. We're down to 15 drivers already. Big shout out and thank you to everybody who's tuned in on Twitch, on iRacing Live, and of course over on YouTube and the Apex Racing TV channel. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done. We're doing this series every week, and in season 2 as well, amongst other things like the BSR touring cars, which obviously goes out on Motors TV as well. And I think we're going to be doing a new NASCAR series as well, so keep an eye out for that. That's going to be on Saturday nights.
I was saying when I look at a couple of guys that's sitting in the pits. Manzano is sitting there. He's taken tyres. He looks like he might be out again. And Nick Thiessen, is he in the car? distance out of the car. Manzano got going and then promptly pressed the button to go back to the pits.
Eunice looking quick here, closing right in on the back of Stein here. Good through the chicane, catches the inside curve. Will he get a good drive out of the final corner? She's done very quick out of there, and she pulled away a bit of a gap. Oh, veteran Kroll as well. Seems to be absolutely stuffed into the tyre wall. That's race over. Let's take a quick look. Oh, he's managed to get it out of there. I'm surprised. So he might be able to get himself a new nose cone. But let's see what he did there, because I have to say I've seen it before. It's easy to do. There's a little dip in the road, and if you get it wrong, it literally spits you right where you don't want to be. You take the pit lane, but yeah, unfortunately, it always just gives you the exactly that. Just got himself sideways. Just that would have been in absolute slow motion in the cockpit. And he's trying his best to. You can hear his engine revving up, but the trouble is, his rear wheels are in the air.
Yeah, luckily it doesn't look like he hit that barrier too hard. So probably, hopefully, he can just get away with a new nose cone and get on his way again. But I think it's something that most of us done. I usually, coming out of that chicane, trying to take a wider line down to the start-finish line, just because I don't trust myself not to overdo it through that little dip.
Interestingly, he decided to go back onto the racetrack and not into the pit lane as well when he exited off there as well. I was just watching it back on the sort of on the stream, and I thought, that's a bit of an odd choice, isn't it? You just impaled your car, you know. It's not going to make much difference to go and get a new nose cone, a few seconds extra in the pits.
Oh, well, that's the race. That's the racer coming out. You're going to see if the car is able to run in its current state. Don't want to make lose unnecessary time by making repairs you don't need.
Take a quick look up front as well. With interesting combination here as well, and especially for us, Conrad, as well, because we've got one of our academy drivers being our main team drivers. I mean, what does that say? We should replace Martin, I think.
I'm not sure if he'll agree with you, but it's just the point.
Testament to the academy right there, I think. But yeah, Jamie's actually been very, very quick since he's joined as well. So we've seen him in these races. So. And I know Martin's just jumped into the race off a whim as well, so I'll help him out somewhere. He'll have a go at me later, won't he, when he hears this back?
Well, he should win the race then, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
Veteran Crawl's in the pits.
I'm not surprised, to be honest.
And he's on his way.
He needed to do that. There was nothing left of that front wing. So. Where's the closest battle? It looks like Jensen closing in on Carlo at the moment. Carlo's not too far behind Yuta Saito as well. Good to see Yuta in there. We haven't seen him do any other races so far this season, and of course newly promoted Pro Series driver as well. Had a very up and down season, a few DNFs, caught up, and a few netcode incidents, which was a bit unfortunate. Marcus getting very, very close, but yeah, he's looking very, very strong. He's closing in on the back of Eunice right now as well, so you just see that battle just ahead of us. Not close enough to make a move, although he does poke his nose out and have a little look, but too far back. Carlo gives room for Jensen. Jensen just a little bit nervous, I think. Didn't really want to risk putting it up the inside there, but now he's round the outside through the S's. That's very brave, very good. Boris comes in and he's going to collect his teammate there as well. Both. Oh, what is going on?
They're still going.
I don't think Bart knew that he was dragging his teammate along there, but that looks brilliant. Sorry guys, let's take a quick look at that back again. Yeah, that all really stemmed because obviously the guys were fighting ahead, and you know, Boris wanted to get in on that action as well, nip up the inside, and Carlo saw it come in and just sort of shut the door. Yeah, and then of course, unfortunately, they just got stuck between themselves, and yeah, Boris was driving backwards faster than some drivers going forwards there. So he's recovered around. He's got a fair bit of damage though. That was side pod, wings, and everything there.
Yeah, I think he was hoping that door might stay open obviously Labate had some other ideas, but yeah, I mean, just again a slight touch of wheels and he was gone. I'll see if either Delart or Spoolshot comes into the pits. Oh, Delart's gone through. So is Spoolstra. So I assume that the damage is not too bad.
I'll tell you what, these cars are pretty hardy as far as the amount of whacks and hits and whatnot they can take. I'm very impressed. Like, you know, even unless you like chop off half the front wing, which I have seen happen, the car's still relatively drivable. You do lose a little bit of straight line speed, but not that much. And through the corners, it's still pretty good, much like it is in real life. You know, you sometimes will see them go just as quick with a few bits of the end plates and stuff like that knocked off. So yes, I think that's certainly going to make you know, I'm just thinking for the World Championship with so many cars, and you know, drivers will be a little bit more aggressive when they go for these moves, know that they can go wheel to wheel without, you know, the suspension just buckling like it used to do on the old Williams car.
It sometimes makes you think what all those little bits are for on the front wings if they go just as fast without it. We're seeing either Saito is getting really close to Eunice at the moment.
Jensen coming up quickly behind them as well. I think Saito's gonna need to, or wants to go for a move. He's gonna have to get on with it, otherwise all of a sudden he's gonna find himself under attack from behind as well. So, and then once the shift starts to happen, you're looking more behind than you are in front. You're probably going to lose a little bit of time to Eunice. But as both drivers come across the line, lap times are well, Saito 0.3 of a second quicker. Had a little look down and into turn one, but nothing this time by.
We've got Bartolard. He's just pulled into the pits. We'll see if that's retirement or if that's just going to be a new front nose.
He did hit his team pretty hard, didn't he? Yeah. So I expect that he's going to need to replace that. Yeah, Saito still trying to put a little bit of pressure onto Eunice here, but Marcus is there now, half a second back, so it really is a three-car battle now for what is fourth place. Front two just slowly edging away from Stein as well, and Stein pulling away from this battle that we were watching at about half a second a lap at the moment.
Tell you what, there's a couple of guys that's made brilliant starts to this race. Marcus Jensen being one of them, started in 10th place and is now up to 6th. Also got Matt Farrow, who started all the way down to 14th and is up into 8th place. And Mika Happinen, 18th place, he's up into the top 10.
Yeah, great drive from Mika. Who's he got right? He's got Boris right on his diffuser at the moment. Any minute, I think, gonna potentially have a little look at the move. Just to see through the final chicane. Yeah, good drive. Looks like Mika got a very good drive out of that final corner as well. Boris just not able to get the power down as well. He has got the use of the DRS. Here he comes. A lot of straight line speed in that Gap SRT team, and he's straight up and through back into 10th place.
Yeah, that was considering the damage that Boris might be carrying on that car. That was a pretty handy lap.
Jump back to this three-car battle. Jensen just going a little bit wide through Degner 2. Gotta watch that there. The car really does get caught on that curve, and it's almost like a rail track. You know, you just sort of have to ride it until you get off and hope that you don't have to make any adjustments, because the sort of like the tongue of the chassis just gets caught there. You want to you can avoid that. You can raise the car up, but of course you lose a whole lot of downforce by doing that. Jensen looking very close, maybe a move into 130R. It's very tricky, it's not flat out like it used to be in the old car. Tiny guys are just having tiny little lift out there. In dirty air, obviously a little bit more. can see Saito just dropping a little bit more off the back of Yunus, but again, great drive off of that. He'll be keen to do well today, of course. It is his home race circuit. We're lap 10 of 35 already, Conrad. Don't know where the time's going. Quick look at the guys up front again. There's still 0.6 of a second between them. What are they lapping at the moment? So 134.7 for Martin. Martin, you broke our overlay again. Name's just too long, buddy. And yeah, Jamie with a 134.8. So both guys pretty quick in the 34. Stein behind with 135.0. So he's still sort of 3 seconds there. And I picked up on it earlier, didn't I, about Bart and his teammates obviously coming strong at the end. So I think he's kind of hoping that's going to run true as well, and he'll be able to close that gap. If he can keep it sort of to 3.5, 4 seconds, then no reason why he can't come back at them.
Yeah, am I right? If it's Stein that scored the second place around Interlagos 2 weeks ago, and he had a very, very strong second part of the race when first place was faltering a little bit.
Oh, this is close this time. On board with Yuta. Went into the that's a triangle.
Oh, he's getting a really good run out there.
He got a good run, but he hit the curb on the inside and it just put him a little bit wide. I don't think it's going to compromise his chance to have a move. Yunus goes a little bit defensive, puts his car in the middle, wants to pinch him down low. Yuta forcing a bit more room. It's up the inside. Is he going to hold on to that? I think he is. Yunus, I think he was a bit worried and a little bit about Jensen as well, because he's right there and he needed to fall in line pretty quickly. Try and risk a move that could potentially lose him 2 places, but that DRS well in effect for Yuta there, and he's up and into 4th place, and we'll see what sort of lap times he can do and whether or not he can go about trying to catch Stein ahead of him.
It's interesting to watch these three, and just sort of the little concertina effect that's going on from lap to lap. Yuta did fall back a little bit, and the lap after he was right back onto the backside of Yunus, and then made that overtake stick into going to turn 1. See Jensen creeping up as well, off of the back of Yunus as they approach 130R.
Yeah, this is very close. Yunus will get the DRS, of course. Just inside that second, 0.9 of a second is the gap. So he still gets the DRS, so he's going to be safe this time. Talking to a couple of drivers off air the other day, and they were saying it's easy to approach a single car, catch them up and overtake them if you're a little bit quicker, but when it's a pack it just becomes so difficult. You catch them up pretty easily enough, but once you want to start making moves, you just can't rely on the DRS. You're just getting no gain off of it, because of course they're in the slipstream, got the use of the ERS as well, and of course the DRS, so you've got to sort of show your front wing here, there, maybe just try and break that 1 second gap to the car in front and see what you can do to get by.
I'm watching some of the cars going through Degner 1. Are they sort of the underside of the car hitting the ground, or because I see a lot of puffs of smoke popping up there.
Yeah, I can't see anything on the timing screen to indicate any sort of problems. Barlow and Farah starting to close up together as well. They're 0.8 of a second apart, so we'll have a little look at that if stick with this battle for the moment. Yunus is well outside. Well, I say well outside. He's 0.1 of a second outside the DRS zone of Yuta at the moment, so he might come under a little bit more pressure this time. Jensen spin deploy, very quick, and Yunus doesn't really defend the inside? Which I'm surprised about, actually. I know Eunice is a very strong driver, and his racecraft is top notch. But he conceded there a little bit easy, from what I'm used to.
Yeah, I mean, he went defensive on Utah, and it didn't work. So I mean, maybe it's just sort of thinking that if he's going to make the overtake, he's going to make the overtake, and it's better just to minimize the loss of time rather than really trying to put up a fight.
Having a look at that battle that we said was starting to close up. That's getting a bit more interesting as well, because along with Carlo, his teammate Sebastian Dunkel as well is coming on the scene, and we could have another little 3-car battle here. So Faro was the slowest out of the 3, and actually it's Dunkel's the quickest, then Carlo, and then Faro. So yeah, I think in any time lap or two we're going to have all 3 drivers within a second of each other.
We'll just watch the lap time as they cross the line, coming out of the final chicane. Dunkel sort of 3/4 tenths quicker than 2 cars in front of him. Matt Farah and Carlo Labate pretty much on. I said pretty much on the same pace. Farah did a 35.7, Labate a 35.8, and then Dunkel did a 35.4. And that last lap, Jensen just set the fastest lap on that last lap with a 34.369.
Yeah,
so his car's obviously feeling pretty good.
Yeah, very quick. Of course, had the DRS and everything through the first sector as well, which obviously is going to help. But yeah, back to 0.6 of a second. He was quick in a race I saw earlier on as well. I think it was Friday, might have been Saturday. But yeah, very quick and worked his way through the pack there. Was only 3.5 seconds behind Patrick in a race where Patrick won. Very close, 4 cars all within 3.5 seconds there. So field's starting to close up. Maybe it's just the style of track. But do you think if there was a track where you were going to be nice and close, it would be it would have been Phillip Island last week, but he was still able to eke out that 10-second lead at the end. Saito closing in on Stein as well, so those guys have slowly been chipping away at this, and this is going to be another 3-car bout anytime soon. Martin lost a little bit of time to Jamie a couple of laps ago as well. Drivers just not lapping the same sort of pace they were at the start of the race. Oh, Stein runs a little bit wide, makes the mistake, oh, and then loses it. Jensen loses it trying to avoid him. Absolute disaster. What a shame. That was just, look at the state of the front end as well. Poor Jensen, really innocent victim there. Stein just made the mistake. Things can happen. And I think that's the first time we've seen sort of Stein make a mistake like that. He's been absolute machine all season long. No mistakes whatsoever, and yeah.
Oh, maybe just a little bit too eager to get back on track. And yeah, well,
let's go back a bit further.
Marcus's car just sort of helped Stein correct his, and he was on his way again. Big loser there is Marcus Jensen.
Yeah, Saito straight up and through. And he's lapping quicker than the leaders at the minute as well. So let's just have a look. I mean, he wasn't being under any real pressure. Just took a little bit too much speed in there, and then tried to get on the power on the AstroTurf, and of course lost the rear end. Jensen just comes steaming in. Nothing really Jensen could do there at all. He was not to fault there at all. And yeah, Stein's continued. I don't know if he's got any suspension damage or anything like that, but I think that's probably Jensen's race, if I'm honest. Done and dusted. He is still out there, but
yeah,
that was a hard hit.
It looks like he's struggling a lot. He had just that Spoelstra go past him before the last chicane, pretty much led him through. Yeah, he's not even hitting, barely hitting 300 kilometers an hour down the start-finish straight.
Right, so what that has left us with, have a look, of course, so top three, Blues Nord and now Utah, and then we've got Eunice followed by Stein, and then it's Farrow, Carla, Dunkel, but these guys are all starting to form up behind Eunice now, so that little 3-car group that we had is now 5, just what we wanted.
Yeah, that one sort of crept up on us a little bit. You've got, like I say, you've got the 5 cars and they're all covered by about 2.6 seconds. What can possibly go wrong?
I see an awful lot of damage on Stein's car, even on side pods. Don't look too bad, and I would thought that would be dented in. We've seen what happened with, you know, when side pods get absolutely nerfed by a nose cone. I remember, was it Vettel and Button?
Yeah, it was Vettel on Button. At,
that was
Spa,
impressive.
wasn't it?
Spa, wasn't it? Just dush, and yeah, everything just everywhere. So.
Yeah, I think Vettel came off that one better than Button did. Button was all, and well, a whole side pod destroyer. I remember smoke and all kinds of fluid dripping out of the side pod that was raised over for Button. But obviously, this McLaren a lot more durable than the one from yesteryear. Even though it's not as quick as it used to be, possibly, but yeah,
Stein's looks like it's not got any damage. I'll take it back. It's like a tank, armor plated. Little battle going on further back. Just take a quick little nose at that, as these guys haven't had too much attention. Timu down in 13th place. I think actually he's just lost a place to Bart. Yeah. But moving back up obviously after his front wing change, but yeah, Timu was at the back at the start of the race, and he's just kept his nose clean, done what he's needed to do. He's a little bit off the pace. I don't think he will mind me saying that, but it just goes to show that if you can be consistent, not make any major mistakes, then you know there's still a chance that he could get himself a top 10, a couple more retirements, and he's right there.
Yeah, Bartolot is his gap from the leaders has been pretty consistent since he came out of the pit, sort of just running 55 seconds there or thereabouts. But he's been closing up on the guys in front of him pretty quick, albeit being pretty far behind.
Alright, just having a quick look at some of the chat that's been going on. If you've got any questions or anything like that for us, by all means, you know, don't hesitate to whack it in there. We'll do our best to answer that. So I think these front two of that little pack that we were watching has managed to pull away a little bit from Matt Farrow. So. Eunice and Stein continuing their battle. Jensen's still out there, but he's lapping in the 38, so major damage.
Well, there's a couple of guys on track at the moment that's going really well. One of them, like I mentioned, is Bartolati, just did a 1 minute 34.4, which by the looks of it is about the second fastest lap of the race. Yuta Saito, last lap was a 34.6. And that was 6/10 of a second quicker than the leader Jamie Fluke. So he's slowly but surely chipping away at the two front runners as well.
Yeah, 6.6 seconds. That's actually come down quite a bit. We all see that when they come across. I don't know if there's any mistake there, but it's nearly 5 seconds is the gap. No, 6.3. So live timing interval way off apparently. Oh, side-by-side battle into turn 1. Oh, Stein and Eunice morphing into each other, and Stein loses it in exactly the same plot. Everybody scrambles to avoid him. He's driving his car out of the way. Oh, it's just not been a good corner for him this race meeting. So, absolute carbon copy of what happened, really. Just too much on the loud pedal on the AstroTurf there, and the car said no.
Car disagreeing with with what's going on there.
What that does do is separate things out quite a bit. Both the Movano drivers lost a fair bit of time there because they had to go off track to avoid, and so they lost 2.6 seconds there to Farrow as well. So that battle's died. It's just between the teammates right now. Farrow has closed up to Eunice, of course, but yeah, I think Eunice just has the edge over Farrow. So, where'd you say Farrow qualified?
He qualified quite. Well, I say quite far back. He 14th place.
Very wide. Got back on this track quickly enough that he could defend the inside of the final chicane. He's under pressure now. Uses the wide line so he can get power down as much as possible. Matt's already got his DRS wide open. Oh, he's alongside. And Eunice concedes the position going into turn 1. Farrow just gets a little bit sideways through the second phase of the first corner there, but is able to hold on to it, and yeah, is up and into 4th place. So another position gain for him.
I don't know if I'm just imagining things, but the drivers this season with this new car seems to be making a lot more mistakes than they used to make with the FW31 with these strength of field races. As like you mentioned earlier on as well, even if you, like in the case of Bartolard, had a moment earlier on, and as long as you just keep it on track, do decent lap times, and keep your nose clean, then you've got every chance of making up more places or somehow getting back into the race by the end of it.
Yeah, Bart to that stationary as well. Something's gone on with Bart. Wonder if you can check that out. The battle's starting to close up. Right, let's have a look at that actually. See if we can jump to it and find out what went on. Bart there. Already happened.
Those gap cars just aren't liking turn 1 and 2 today.
Nope. Yeah, exactly. Just coming out of that. We've seen that so often. And yeah, into the wall, and I think he's had enough.
Yeah, I'm going to call commentator's curse on that one. Because just as I was sat talking about him and talking about keeping the car on track, he decided to embarrass me a little bit and stick it in the wall.
The man on the move is Yuta at the moment, 134.5 compared to Martin's 135.0. And 134.8 from Jamie. Martin slowly working his way back up to Jamie as well. Getting into the business end of the race as well, where tyres start to go off, and if your car's at all twitchy or got a little bit of an imbalance with the way it wears, and really this is where it starts to become a whole handful. And yeah, those that have got it nailed will come back, and this is kind of what I thought was going to happen, perhaps with Stein. We've seen how quick those Gap SRT cars are at the end of the race, so I really expected him to start to come back at them now, but Yuta showing that that Ronin Racing car is looking good.
Yeah, I think we're just sort of approaching that stage of the race where things are just going to, I'm predicting they're just going to go quiet for about 5 or 6 laps, and then we've got Matt Farrow in 4th place, all the way back to Boris Spoelstra in 8th place, and last 5 or 6 laps, that little group there, plus these front-running 3 is going to provide ample entertainment till the end of the race.
Just as there's a couple of questions about it right now on the chat. And people talking about the Apex Academy. Just to confirm, it is $5 a month. Get you access to our academy. There's all sorts of things in there as well, so you get access to all of our pro drivers. And yeah, so setup help. We help obviously tweak the cars to fit your driving style. Share eye speed replays, tips and tricks and all that. And that's just the current academy. It's going to be revamped next season to a whole new level as well. So yeah, if you're interested, just head on over. There's also going to be a free section next season as well, so we're going to try and help the academy, much like we did in 2015. It's going to be a free area where you can come and grab some setups for as well, and just start some basic stuff, and we'll have some quick guide tutorials and things like that in there, so anyone can join that. Just head on over to the Apex forum. You can get yourself signed up on there. It's a free account, and yeah, keep an eye out. Like I say, season 2 there'll be a free area as well, and we'll be I think it's going to be a couple of cars that we're going to start that off with. I think it's the Formula Renault, and we're going to do the McLaren as well, and then we'll slowly expand that out as we sort of grow the sort of the base and the interest in it, and the demand is there. So yeah, pop on over and have a look.
I think it's something, I mean, it's just, the testament is in this race. We've got Jamie Fluke in the Academy colours leading the race. We had Marcus Jensen running top 5 earlier on before being the victim of an accident in the Academy as well. And then we've got Zoran Jonic running 11th place at the moment, who just recently joined and is having a very steady race as well. I know he's I think he was involved in that incident on lap 1, but yeah, I mean, you know, watching the guys come through with the work that's being done in the academy, it's there's been sort of a steady flow of new names showing up in these races week after week after week.
Yeah, it's worth pointing out as well, those that are member, and there's some that will just come on there, you know, grab the sets and use the replays and the ice speeds and things like that, just to try and help see where they can gain a little bit extra time, and maybe ask the odd question on the forum, you know, and you know, they get what they want from it. You know, don't sort of get pushed into doing anything, but then, you know, those that really want to get absolutely the max out of it, and we'll be asking questions all the time, and we'll be on TeamSpeak with the pro guys, and you know, just asking this and asking that, and they don't mind. You know, they'll happily help out, and you know, Jamie's one of them, and he's come through really quickly. And at the start of the season, we saw him, and I don't think you'll mind me saying this, but you know, was sort of towards the front, but more mid-pack, and now he's very quick, right up there as well, and it's been remarkable to see his progression. But he literally is in TeamSpeak every day, just yeah, asking this, asking that, what about this, what can I try to do this, and you know, can you help me with that, and yeah, he's really just a great shining example of it at the moment.
Yeah, I remember not so long ago, what's the race that we covered? It was in Indianapolis, where he was sort of running mid-pack, and I mean, he was happy with this result at the end of the race, but it was just about a top 10, if I remember correctly. And yeah, we've got week 9, we've got Jamie Fluke. He's been leading from the start so far.
I think they're going to get closed up by Utah by the time this race is over. 11 laps to go, gap is down to 4.2 seconds. It's just chipping away, sort of like a tenth or two a lap, and this battle that we were looking at earlier on has closed right back up as well. Farrow's disappeared, but we've got Eunice in 5th place. We've got Carlos 6th, Sebastian Dunkel in 7th, Boris in 8th. Yeah, so Boris obviously recovering from getting turned earlier on. Dragged a little way by his teammate, but yeah, he's closed back up and looking quick, definitely the quickest out of all of them at the moment, and maybe closing in on the back of Sebastian here. Maybe wants a little move to 130R.
Eunice just looking like
Dunkel as well. This is sorry, I'm flipping cameras around all over the place. Yeah, like I say, Eunice defending from Carlo, Dunkel trying to attack. Boris is close as well. Let's just jump back on board with him.
Well, while we're looking at this, just a little update on the guys in front. Jamie Fluke seems to have just opened up a little gap to Martin from Lewis-Nuit. I was watching him for a lap or two, and he just seems to struggle with the back end going through Spoon and the second Degner a little. But yeah, Fluke's got a 1.2 second lead, and then another 2.5 seconds back from Lewis-Nuit is Saito. Yeah, that's 3 seconds chipped away since we last spoke about it. Oh, we've got a car off Eunice is lost coming out of the second dig now. I think he managed to keep it out of the wall. Well, that 4-car battle is down to a 3-car battle. He just tapped the barrier with his right rear. I don't think that should be any significant damage.
Sorry, where was that? I was just typing away on the chat. Missed that.
Sorry, coming out of Digna 2. Eunice just lost the back end a little bit. Tried to save it and got just tapped the wall. Nothing significant, but the 3 cars that was behind him is obviously now through.
And looking particularly racy as well. Dunkel wants to get by his teammate, and he needs to do that. He's not going to come under pressure here. Oh, that's close. This is what we're going to see an example of exactly what we were saying about. If you're the 3rd car in a train, then it's not easy to get by. Dunkel up the inside of his teammate. Carlo doesn't defend it too aggressively as you'd imagine. Boris trying to get alongside. He did this earlier on, tried to take advantage of another move, and it ended not too well for him. Oh, he runs a little bit wide, manages just to keep it on. That curb was ideally placed. If it had been any narrower, he would have been off there.
Sorry, Alex, we just had a lead change. Van Loosenhoed is through on Fluke. Fluke must have made a mistake somewhere.
Yeah, let's have a quick look, see if we can find what that was about, because Utah's right there in that battle as well now, so exactly that. So
it was Digna 1.
Jamie just clipped the grass going into it, so manages to get himself back on track, but he'll be kicking himself for that. Just nicked the grass going in, pushed the car wide, and yeah, race for the lead. How many times do we see this? Week in, week out. Pretty, you know, nothing really going on at the front for the first 2/3 of the race, and then the last part. Yeah, it's all fun.
Looking at Jamie's pace throughout the race, he should have enough to maybe close up to Van Loosenhoed, but yeah, Saito is. He worked his way through the field and he's been rapid ever since. He's less than a second behind Fluke now. Dunkel coming through as well, setting his fastest lap of the race with 34.8. Oh, it's kind of hard to know where to look at the moment. You've got those top 3. You know it's going to get interesting there in the next couple of laps. And yeah, you've got was it 4th, 5th, and 6th as well. They're all together. I was looking at the wrong fight there. There's 6th, 7th, and 8th. Who's together, and we've got Eunice in 9th place who's creeping up on them as well. Well, Eunice was creeping up on them and then spun it. Oh, and who was that? Somebody just ran into Labati running into Eunice coming out of Spoon.
I'll look, see if we can find that. Get that on a replay. Right, looks like it's going to be Boris, I think. But
yeah, Boris tapped the backside
of though. When I look at that, I mean, I just saw that on the replay. We were perfectly positioned on that camera angle. There's like a foot between them. And yeah, Eunice had some troubles there as well, and Carlo, yeah, recovering. Eunice's car's crabbing, so that's probably him done.
Oh, and he had such a good start to the the race as well. Kept it out of trouble. Car wasn't back going through turn 1.
Yeah, that was first time as well, but it still ended in disaster. Right, front 3, 2.4 seconds separates them. 8 laps to go. It's on, I think. Although that lap, if anything, the gap's just got bigger between all of them, so not what we wanted to see. a lot of retirements today. Just goes to show how demanding Suzuka is as well.
Yeah, it's something we see through the whole of iRacing. Whichever series comes here, it's a very demanding track, and it's very hard on driver and car alike. And to try and get the car from the start to the finish intact in one piece without any damage.
It's always tricky for us to know exactly where drivers are with their ERS and whatnot as well. I mean, Yuta could well have used up a whole bunch just trying to close the gap up, and now he's sort of saving it maybe for attack on the last 2 or 3 answers.
Yeah, it will be sort of interesting to as you're broadcasting to know what's going on. But I mean, I suppose the guys in real life, the commentators in real life, don't have this information either. And but the IndyCar, the boys in the IndyCar fraternity has gone quite a way to make this kind of information accessible to viewers with those displays on the air boxes above the drivers in the last year or so.
Oh, who was that? That was Saito just having a puff of smoke going through Degner 1. Now sometimes it's a bit of a graphical glitch, it can look worse than it is, but usually he's had a little slide or something going in there, so it was okay, no issues. But drop back a little bit further. There's no other battles really going out there right now, so back marker just in the way of Yuta as well. That's going to slow him down a little bit, although actually Yuta just not quite there through the spoon, so he's going to get a little bit of slipstream down the back straight. Hopefully the back marker will pull to the left. He does, and slows down. Yuta getting as much slipstream as he can. I tell you what, there's a I don't know if, I think it's speakers or something like that, megaphone that's on a pole, and there's so many times I've seen that on one particular camera angle, and I keep thinking there's a car crashed on 130. One time I'm going to shout it out, someone spun! Nope.
Jamie Fluke is pulled back to within a second of Van Loosenhoed. The gap there is just 0.7 seconds at the moment. Sato's fallen back a wee bit. The gap to Fluke now 1.6 seconds.
A couple of great shots as well. Just want to give a shout out and thanks to Istvan for sorting the cameras out for the series. Each week he sends me a PM with updates and with the upcoming tracks, which is awesome to see. And yeah, done a great job today, mixing the cameras up. Not sure how this is going to affect the championship. I'm sure Jamie will want to try and get back past Martin, because obviously he's got a couple of sort of weaker points rounds that he will want to drop, and you know, a win here would make probably expecting it to be another 15-20 points, something like that he would get. So I would think if he could, he'd want to get back past. I mean, yeah, Martin's certainly not going to want to let him go though.
Yeah, I mean, Fluke, looking at the standings at the moment, he's only 13 points behind Bartelard. So I mean, a couple of extra points might well propel him into 4th place on the standings, as Saito runs wide coming out of Degner 2. That would have lost him a little bit of time.
Both drivers, well, all 3 drivers there within 1/10 of a second lap times. The comparison again. So 34.6 for Fluke and Saito, 7 for Martin. Nothing else going on further back as well. Everybody else is really strung out now. We have lost Yunus, Bartolat, Nick, Thiessen, Christian, Dem, and Mikkel there as well. Mika Harpinen as well. He might have been in the pits this race, down 13th. Timo in 12th. He's not going to get that top 10. Kroll obviously had his pit stop up into 11th. And then we've got Zoran followed by, well, in front of him is Jensen. Jensen still running around in the 37s. He might actually get caught by Zoran. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. It's 1.8 seconds.
Yeah, Zoran's last lap was 1.2 seconds quicker. But Jensen taking advantage of some of the retirements. He's managed to make his way back up into that top 10. Like you say, nothing much going on at the moment. Boris Spoelstra just whacked in at 34.4 on that last lap. So yeah, he keeps that going. He's going to be right on to the back of Dunkel in the next lap or two. I suppose with the top three, it's a case of trying to manage your battery power for these last couple of laps, making sure you've got enough in hand for the last lap or the lap before, just in case you need it.
It's really starting to rubber in through the Degners as well. I don't know if you just saw that on that camera shot, but I was looking at mine out of shape into the hairpin. I tell you what, that's a tricky corner no matter what car you drive that in. I remember in the World Cup, the Indy car was an absolute handful through there, trying to get the setup so that it didn't over-rotate through the middle of that corner. And it was the same with the old car as well. Of course, as soon as you do that, it just heats those rear tyres up as well, and for the next few corners...
off again. Sorry, Alex. Oh no!
I must be watching it on a replay. I'm going to stick with this. I'm sorry, Conrad. I'm a donut. I'm going to stay with it. So, yeah, let's have a look. See exactly what happens. Epic fail on my part. Guess it's going to be coming up any second. Oh, you know what? He lost it there in another race this week in exactly the same way. Oh, jeez! And that is what happens when your tyres are dead. Right, let's get back live. I'm such an idiot. Yay, failed. No one else pointed it out, did they? We all just thought we were watching it live. But yeah, so rear tyres cooked there, and desperate to get the power down so that he can stay out in front of Yuta, and whoops.
Yeah, it was a very close shave there, nearly collecting Yuta as well.
Yeah, Yuta just about survived. Don't think there's any damage, can't see anything on his wing, looks all good. So 1.8 seconds to Martin with 2 laps to go.
And this is the thing we've seen through previous weeks. We just get sort of into the last 5 or 6 laps, and then the people with the tyres that's completely gone. It's just 1 or 2 little mistakes creeping in here and there, and it's got a major effect on the car. So it's something that you normally might get away with, then turns into a full-out spin, and then yeah, that happens.
I mean, we're running 66% race distance on a single set of soft Pirelli tyres. I mean, something not quite right there. And although I do know that the drivers have had the call this week as well from the pit crew to basically say, your tyres are knackered, get in the pits and change them. And everyone's like, nope, nope, nope. So I'm surprised we haven't seen like a really hot race and some punctures and things like that. But they are close, I tell you, to that sort of state. So when they're like that, it's so easy just to get a little bit of a drift on, like we saw there. And as soon as you superheat the rears, yeah, they're like cheese after that. You just can't put any gas down.
Oh, we'll just see how much it is costing you in lap time now when Fluke comes through to complete this lap. Because obviously he spun on the previous lap. This is his first sort of clean lap after that, and you can see he's visibly taking a lot easier, and the gap to Matt Farah has sort of dropped from somewhere from 11 seconds down to about 8.5 in just this one lap alone. 136.4, yeah, well, nearly 2 seconds, one and a half, 2 seconds off the pace.
We did get front wing damage as well, so his car just might have had it. You know, he's going to be alright, he's going to hold on to that. I thought for a minute Dunkel was going to close in on Farrow, but we're on the last lap. Martin puts the fastest lap of the race in as well. That last time by, so 34 disappeared off screen.
I think that was Boris Bullshaw with a 34.173.
Yeah, that's weird. It come up as Martin. Yeah, so don't really understand that. Unless he had Boris had an off track or something like that with it.
Overlays biased.
That's it. Must be well programmed. Yuta is gonna, he's gonna be close, but he's just not gonna get there. I'm afraid. 1.1 seconds. We're on the last lap. It's gonna need a mistake from Martin. Martin's just gonna take it easy through the spoon. Hope you don't run out of fuel. There's always that could happen as well. Of course, there is no refueling now, so drivers have to get that right. Track conditions can vary it slightly, but yeah, it's looking good for Martin.
Very gingerly through that last chicane.
Oh. Almost commentated Kirsty there. Give it some, did he, through that? I thought he was gone there. He just gave us a bit of excitement. Wow. Whew. Really?
But, it looked like he was just taking it so easy through there, and then that back end just wiggled a little bit.
Just wanted to give me a little heart attack as well.
Matt Farrow coming across the line as well.
Farrow fourth. Those guys pretty much as they are. Boris closed into half a second of Dunkel as well, but couldn't get anything done. Stein coming across the line, 7th place. Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that, I think. You know, he had good pace. Couldn't quite keep with the leaders. He was being closed down by Yuta, so I think, you know, maybe a 4th probably would have been sort of best result that he would have had today. Carlo obviously caught up in all sorts and seems to be involved in a lot, does Carlo. 8th place again. Zoran coming across in 9th. He's got a bit of front wing damage as well. So
yeah, I think he picked that up on the first lap and has been running with it ever since.
Did beat Jensen.
Yeah, a bit of a recovery drive.
Was absolutely smashed. Yeah, let's take that front wing. You're gonna do it properly, I always say. And yeah, the veteran coming across in 12th place. That is everybody.
Just Nika up and then coming across as well, and that's the lot, I think.
Yeah. All right, take us through the final standings, if you would, Conrad.
Yeah, first place Martin van Leeuwenhoek after starting from 2nd place. Coming home in 2nd is Yuta Saito. 3rd place was Jamie Fluke from pole. Matt Farrow in 4th place. Sebastian Dinkel in 5th. Boris Spoelstra in 6th place. Stein Korthorst in 7th. And Carlo Labatti in 8th. Running out the top 10 is Zoran Jonic in 9th place. And Marcus Jensen in 10th. Veteran Kral came home in 11th, and then we've got 2 cars. There was a lap down, Timo Lappalainen and Mika Happinen, and yeah, we lost a third of the cars through retirements. The first of them was Eunice Nikaranen and Bart de Laat in 15th place, was 16 laps down, and then Nick Thiessen, Christian Manzano, Cam Bulakbasi, and Mikkel Smiddle. Running up the retirements from that.
Right, well, thanks very much, everybody, for tuning in. Any Twitch? There's a whole bunch of people here on Twitch as well. Any Twitch guys gonna set up a stream in a minute? Want me to give you guys a shout out on here to see if we can't get people over to there? Just post in the chat now, and I'll do that before we head off. But yeah, just you know, all around another good race. I think, you know, the series just keeps getting better actually, and I think it's a testament to the car, actually. Car's very easy. Well, it's not easy to drive. That's the wrong word. It's very drivable, and a lot of people obviously having a whole load of fun and things like that in there. And we 3 splits today again. So, you know, really really happy to see that. Of course, there's bound to be a couple more split races throughout the day. But yeah. So just again, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Where are we next week?
Good question. I was looking at it earlier in preparation for this question, and then promptly forgot. It's Monza, isn't it?
Let's have a look. Let's bring the schedule up. Monza. What was Silverstone?
Silverstone.
Yeah, Silverstone, then Monza. So, yeah, very similar circuit, of course. So drivers probably not going to need to do a whole great deal of of setup tweaking. I think for there. I mean, the S is obviously very similar to Beckett's Maggots Chapel section as well, and Stowe kind of resembles Dunlop in a way. The sort of long progressive corner, late apex as well. The Club Vale chicane. Of course, we are still on the old layout as well. Come on, the new layout. When are they going to give us the new layout? So yeah, sometime soon maybe. Right. Yeah, no one's done a shout out or anything like that. No one wants to shout out, so we're gonna bid everyone a farewell. Thank you for tuning in, and yeah, we'll see you next week for Silverstone then, guys. Until then, take care, enjoy the racing, and we'll be back next week.